Driver Carrington gets dumped by Benami. The leaders are winding up here. Daytona, the big one is out. Good evening, race fans. Welcome back to the Doghouse Racing League. Tonight, for the Next Gen Cup Thursday Night Series, we're at the Dega 101, the virtual Talladega Super Speedway. And I am your host, James East, bringing the action 1080p 60 frames a second. As right now, qualifying underway for our drivers. A few drivers trying to put down a few fast lap times here and maybe find themselves looking pretty. As right now, we'll try and get that updated. It's Adam Gardner sitting on top of pole, as we have Darrell Whiteside making his way out on track to try and get some good qualifying time. Going to be interesting to see what happens out here today. Now, last week we only had one caution at Auto Club, so it's going to be interesting to see if tonight at the Super Speedway our drivers can have the same amount of luck, because it's kind of tough here in these new next-gen cars. Things either go really well for our drivers or really poorly, but usually nowhere in between. As qualifying looks like it's going to wrap up to an end, it'll be Gardner on the top spot, and let's get ready to take it to tonight's grid as we wait for our drivers to make their way out onto the track. As always, thank you to our fans from across the world that tune in week and week out, making these shows what they are. We couldn't do it without you guys as we run through the grid for tonight. Adam Gardner starting on pole to number 56. Andrew Pratt starting second. You got Randall Barnett starting third. Michael Semia starting fourth. Doug Sohm starting fifth on the grid. Andrew Corr starting sixth. Eric Peck seventh on the grid. Dylan Hervatten starting eighth. Christopher Simon starting ninth. Kevin Thompson starting 10th. We've got Daryl Whiteside starting 11th. And we have Dustin Lee starting 12th. We cycle it back to Teddy Wisniewski is starting 13th. Leander Johnson starting 14th. You've got Wesley Whitfield starting 15th. Michael Bowen starting 16th. Justin McMahon starting 17th. Jonathan Jennings, and the number 95 machine starts 18th. Andrew Williams starting 19th. Christopher Leftwich starting 20th on the grid. Bill Gentry starting 21st. Eddie Rivers starting 22nd. Daniel Wilkerson starting 23rd in the 78. And then you've got Mike Leftwich starting 24th. And finally, last but not least, Joshua Jernigan, the number 22 machine, rounds out our grid here today. Guaranteed to be another great show tonight for the Next Gen Thursday Night Series, sponsored by Shoney. Let us know when you're tuning in who you're cheering for, where you're from, as a lot of these drivers will have this broadcast up on a separate monitor, and if they don't, they absolutely always go back and watch it. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, they know and appreciate when you're out there cheering for them week in and week out. We got Sean Thompson tuned in. He's cheering on the number 21 of Kevin Thompson. Kevin starting 10th on tonight's grid. And a pretty healthy grid. Looks like 23 drivers making their way out. It appears Jonathan Jennings and Andrew Williams may be starting from pit road here. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Oh, good to see Sean Thompson, another Georgia native, tuning in. Always interesting to me to see where our fans are from across the world. Here we go, waiting for the green flag to fly here at Talladega, guaranteeing to be a good one. Not quite sure what's going to happen with these cars getting updated on such a draft-heavy track. It's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out for our drivers. Pace car getting ready to make its way down pit road, and we'll get things started. 38 laps, 50% fuel allotment. It's going to be interesting to see if this turns into a good, clean race, or if drivers maybe don't have the patience they need. Here we go, the green flag flies. We've got Lisa Pratt, she's cheering on Andrew Pratt, the number 75 machine up in Vermont. Hope you guys are staying warm. Andrew Pratt, speaking of, out front, working that high line. But it looks like to me Adam Gardner, Randall Barnett on the inside line, making some early strides. Again, I'm very intrigued to see how things are going to work as far as the new draft package of these machines. As right now the outside line led by Andrew Pratt, the bright orange number 75, doing his best to get up there. Not sure if this may turn into a single file race. It may not. It's going to be really tough to see here. But right now it's Toyota out front with Adam Gardner, Randall Barnett in the Chevrolet running second. Andrew Pratt, our current fastest forward, he's running third and doing his best to get that outside line working and working well. And two very distinct lines formed up. Andrew Pratt shows ahead by about 0.08 of a second at the line, leading Michael Simia, number 1 machine. Looks like Pratt's going to try and get himself clear, but not quite able to do so. He's going to have to work for it a little bit longer here. It's almost the entirety of the field going side by side. Neither line trying to yield or give up any time as of yet. Simming that inside line, giving it all he's got. Look at the great formation flying we got out here today. We've got Brittany Rice from, West Virginia, cheering on the Leftwich family. Chris Leftwich in the number 13 machine, Mike Leftwich in the 60, and the number 1 of Michael, all representing Shoney's out here today. The field's starting to get a little bit wild there. We've got somebody way down on the apron. Not quite sure who that is. But already things have rapidly gotten shaken up here. As now it'll be Dylan Hervatten running out front, that number 47 machine. And still they go. Now Kevin Thompson, number 21 machine in the Ford. Look at that. All of a sudden, Ford running first through fourth. While you've got Chevrolet with Michael Simia and Randall Barnett running fifth and sixth. So all of a sudden, the Ford drivers coming up towards the front here, 5 laps in. Now going to be interesting to see what the pit stop strategy is, if every driver is going to try and stretch that fuel run out as long as they possibly can, or maybe try and get off strategy ever so slightly. If so, you can expect to see the drivers coming in at that lap 19 mark as we go 3 wide into the trial of the start-finish line. Some drivers breaking formation, trying to work their way around. Now let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it is tough to be on board and in these cars trying to make some moves. We're going to go on board with Randall Pratt, see if we can get a roll bar shot. There we go. Not a lot of room for these drivers to make any type of ground. You have to count on the driver in front of you to hold their position and not make any mistakes, because it just takes one little lapse of judgment at almost 200 miles an hour, and you can be causing the big one here at Talladega. Looks like the outside line really stalling here. Andrew Pratt in that Brighthorn 75 Gatorade machine. He's tucked in behind Dylan Hervat in the number 47 and not quite able to get that drive they wanted despite being linked up nose to tail. I'm not sure if that's the draft package or what it is, just maybe not having the momentum on that high line. But it looks like Kevin Thompson, your race leader, able to extend that gap from about a half second from first place Thompson back to Hervat in the number 47 machine. As Thompson, your race leader, is also our current hard charger. He's up 9 positions from where we started tonight. Oh, look at that big move. Was that Soames maybe in the number 67 machine? No, that was Peck in the 61. Eric Peck in the Chevrolet aggressively swapped over to the high line. He's trying to work his way around Soames, the number 67 machine. Soames on the inside line, the Dodge, bright purple, number 67. While you've got Eric Peck, he's in the black, red, and yellow numbered 61 Chevrolet. And he will get cut off by Simia, the number 1 Chevrolet, all white. And we're going to go 3 wide once more. Everybody trying to find a dance partner and see who they're going to lend their draft support to. And this is where it can get mighty exciting for our drivers heading back into turn 1. You've got Michael Simia squeezed in the middle, Eric Peck on the high line. Meanwhile, Kevin Thompson, your race leader, sees what's going on in their rearview mirror and just happy not to be involved in it. Ooh, a little bit of rubbing up there towards the front. Looked like that was Dylan Hervat and I believe Christopher Leftwich. Leftwich, one of the Shoney's back drivers on the inside line. He's in the bright red number 13 machine, the number 47 Hervat, currently leading the charge in the high line. He's accompanied by Teddy Wisniewski in that number 26 Toyota. And here we go. It's going to be the first crash of the night as Dylan Hervat has front row seats, and around he goes. The field spins around trying to avoid the carnage, and he takes a shortcut back onto pit road. And just like that, things are getting exciting, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we can get you the Shoney's back replay here. As bad as that went, that could have went way, way worse for a Talladega wreck. So let's back that one up just a little bit for our fans at home. So keep an eye on Hervat and the number 47 machine. Gets a little bit of help from behind, and he goes careening across the track while the field tries to get through safely. Some of the drivers doing a spectacular job locking up those brakes to avoid any misfortune. But unfortunately, Hervat looks like he may be done for the night with some heavy, heavy damage on that machine. And while we are under caution, I'd like to give a big shout out to our title sponsor of the Next Gen Cup Thursday Night Series, Shoney's from West Virginia. Check them out, Bell, Flatwoods, Princeton, Charleston, Lewisburg, Summersville. They can get you great food at a great price, and you can take the whole family out on a Friday night. So again, thank you to Shoney's for coming on to our title sponsor of the week, of the season, excuse me. Looks like most drivers are going to come down pit road, except for Michael Simia and Christopher Leftwich. They're going to opt to stay out here. An interesting move. Maybe they know something that we don't. Maybe expecting another caution once the field gets stacked up. We say it every week, cautions breed cautions. Now, is Simia and Leftwich going to stay out here? Or are they going to come in for a late pit stop and almost give themselves EOLs? As it looks like Dustin Lee, Wesley Whitfield, and Dylan Hervaten will have extended visits to pit road after that first incident of the night. Teddy Wisniewski did get back out on track after a substantially long pit stop. Most of the field looks like they only took fuel on that pit stop, possibly right sides. While Joshua Jernigan, Daniel Wilkerson, Jonathan Jennings, and Eddie Rivers appeared to have taken a 4-tire stop. We'll get them gridded back up, double file. And ready to do battle once more here at Talladega. Several drivers coming back down pit road, it looks like. Gardner, McMahon, Gentry, Jernigan, Wilkinson, Jennings, Rivers, Wisniewski. Maybe trying to get some repairs on those machines. Michael Simeon, Leftwich will be on the front road. Neither driver has come down pit road yet. Now with the 50% fuel allotment our drivers have tonight, I would imagine that this is not going to be a race you can run all the way on one tank, but we've seen drivers surprise us before. This may be no different. So we'll get the field stacked up, ready to do battle once more. Now these pacing laps, exorbitantly long, almost 2.3 minutes. So let's call it 2.5 minutes long when they're rolling around under eye-pacing conditions. Now this was scheduled to be a 30-minute race plus cautions. So it'll be interesting to see how that shapes up tonight. And here we go once more. Christopher Leftwich and Michael Simia smashing down the loud pedals to get things going. Still side by side, but now the question is who's going to be the first driver to get some draft support, as it looks like Leftwich, Christopher Leftwich, number 13 machine, is going to drop down the inside groove and follow Simia around on this opening lap. You've got the number 21 machine of Kevin Thompson. He's trying to get the high line formed up, but getting absolutely no help from any allies as he finds himself side by side with St. Cour in the number 16 Ford. Got to keep an eye out as here comes Christopher Simon and Doug Soames as well. They're going to work their way up the inside line, as poor Thompson's going to be out there in no man's land for quite a while, I would imagine. Not much help coming, but as we say that, here comes Andrew Pratt. Are we going to see a healthy bump come from the 75 machine into the back of Thompson and get that outside groove working? Or are they going to hop in and play the single file game for a little while here? We'll pull up the live timing tower on the left side of your screen so you can see where your favorite driver is as we watch Andrew St. Cour, the number 16 machine, briefly hop to the outside groove. He gets a hearty shove from Thompson. This is what we were talking about. Just takes one mistake at 200 miles an hour. Right as we say that, Leftwich throws a nasty block onto St. Cyr and uses that bump to work his way into the lead, trying to make that number 16 machine 3 lines wide. Excuse me, the 13 machine, the bright red on the inside line. But St. Cyr and the 16 run the high line. The advanced paint scheme on that Ford Mustang has other plans. He wants to keep that momentum going. Side by side, about 6 rows deep here at Talladega. 24 laps left to go for our competitors. Are we going to see patience out of the drivers, or is everybody just going to try and gain the ground when they can? We're going to get a confirmation of the rulebook. These drivers only have one set of tires behind pit road, and they do in fact have no fast repairs at their disposal. What that means for you guys at home, maybe watching for the first time and supporting some friends and family, if they wad up these virtual machines, they will have to simulate repairing the damage back on pit road. With a fast repair, you get kind of a get out of jail for free card, but not the case here at the Doghouse Racing League. You'll have to hammer it back the old-fashioned way with Flex Seal and duct tape to get these machines put back together. But right now, looks like everybody making their way out, not having too many problems despite that early crash. As we still have St. Cyr on the outside line, really getting some momentum going as he's got Kevin Thompson and Andrew Pratt linked up nose to tail. And I can't believe it. Maybe with these new drafting package, things are going to get a little bit better out of these next-gen cars and maybe breathe a little bit of life into them. As we finally have the outside groove properly working. Now the question is, are we going to see St. Cyr drop down the inside line, or is he going to be happy building up the momentum on the outside groove? As it looked like Pratt maybe took a peek on the inside line, but thought better of it. I am shocked to see. So recently, for you viewers at home, iRacing just put out an update for these next-gen Cup cars, starting to get a little bit more data provided to them by NASCAR and allowed higher horsepower, lower downforce setup, so maybe things are getting a little bit better, as well as affecting the drafting dynamics. And I think this is the first time I've had the pleasure of seeing it, drivers actually able to break that air bubble between themselves and properly bump draft in these newer machines. I would predict that these machines are going to only get better and better as iRacing gets their hands on more data from their real-life counterparts. So excited to see what the future is going to come for these guys, because we're here to call great races at Team Goon Squad, and excited to see it out here today. As you see a couple of drivers peeking out, that was Michael Bowen and the number 25 Chevrolet. Maybe looking for a possible pass. Yes, he is. He's going to drop down in front of the number 60 of Michael Leftwich. But sometimes what you'll see these drivers do as well is take a peek out there, put some air on the front of the car, and kind of get your bearings back underneath it, because it gets exhausting running nose to tail at 200 miles an hour. You can't see your reference marks, your turn-in points. Thankfully, no brakes here at Talladega. It's just going to be wide open all the way around. But I am astounded to see how much momentum that outside line really has. As we've got somebody making moves. I believe that's Whiteside, number 33 machine. all by his lonesome down there on the bottom groove. He is almost to the corner panel of Doug Soames, thinks better of it as he sees Michael Bowen taking a shot, number 25 machine. This is the battle for 7th on track. Oh, what happened here? Here comes Whiteside, and we're going to collect a whole lot of drivers in this one. As it looks like it's Whiteside, Jennings, Wisniewski, Jernigan, Wilkerson, all having some big moments. What on earth happened there? Watching Whiteside, oh, just gets absolutely drilled by the number 25 machine. That was Michael Bowen. And then the field's going to stack up, and we are going to sacrifice some bodywork to the racing gods here at Talladega. As a hard hit for several drivers. Let's watch that one once more from a different camera angle, because that ended up being pretty spectacular. Not sure if that's going to be the big one or not here tonight, but the number 25 just thought he was cleared, caught that quarter panel, and around she goes with drivers scattering through, but several guys just nowhere to go, getting absolutely collected in that one. And poor Darrell Whiteside, that number 33, just gets hit by everything, everyone. And that will be our second caution of the night at the halfway mark of the evening. It looks like everybody's going to come down pit road. Now, I'm fairly certain if everybody comes in this lap, we'll be able to run it all the way out till the end without having any problems, at least as far as fuel mileage goes. Now, on track, that's a whole different story. And again, while we're under caution, the Doghouse Racing League's Thursday Night Cup Series is proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney, open daily for breakfast, lunch, dinner. Stop by one of their West Virginia locations to try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar and take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's, delicious food and friendly service since 1947. Again, thank you to our friends at Shoney's for sponsoring this series. If you want to support your favorite race league, the Doghouse Racing League, stop by your favorite West Virginia Shoney's and tell them we sent you. Help keeps the races going and helps us keep calling the races week in and week out. So it'll once again be Simia and St. Croix on the front row. And let us know, to our viewers at home, do you think we're going to make this till the end without another caution, or are we going to see that yellow flag proudly fly once more here at Talladega? As we get ready to grid our drivers up side by side once more. And here we go, getting them gridded up. It'll be 15 laps left to go at the line. As we wait for the iRacing pace car to make its way down pit road. It's going to be a mad dash out to the finish line. We got Deborah Courier, I believe is the right way to pronounce that. My apologies if I didn't say that right, Deborah. The father-in-law of Dan Brasington cheering on the race, cheering on Brasington, wishing him the best. Good to see the family affair coming out and having a great time. And here we go. Simia first on the gas, makes things happen. As now Andrew Pratt, the number 75 machine, started up second, worked his way to the back early on, and now finds himself battling for the lead once more. He's looking at that rearview mirror, and he saves Andrew St. Croix, the number 16 machine, with a whole lot of momentum. Oh, what's that outside line going to do? They check up slightly to avoid running over Pratt, who saw the momentum and said, hey, I want to be at the front of this. As Michael Simia trying to catch back up there, but we've seen this before, the inside line just getting left in the dust once that outside groove really gets that momentum. Carrying almost 5 mile-an-hour difference in this tight draft they have, but now in that inside groove, Simia has some draft support. Going to be interesting to see who can work together best to make it up towards the front. Or are we going to have that yellow flag come out again as everybody starts to get a little bit impatient? Andrew Pratt still out front. Lap traffic looks to see what they're going to do here. I believe that's Whiteside, the number 33 machine, who hops down the apron to avoid getting run over by the massive field behind him. As that inside groove getting a little bit closer, bit by bit, up towards the front. Now, very interesting, the pace has dropped off significantly at this point in the race. Andrew Pratt, last time by, he's full, almost 9/10 slower than he was early on in the race, as he now runs up front, doesn't have that large draft advantage cutting back through the field. Andrew St. Croix linked up to the back of Andrew Pratt's Gatorade-backed Mustang. As you go on board with Andrew St. Croix's dash cam, not much distance there between himself and Andrew Pratt. And we'll show you just how close as we go on board the rear camera of Andrew Pratt, number 75 machine. Right behind him, knowing he's trying to do his best to catch up and take the first place away from that number 75 Ford Mustang. "12 laps left to go. Andrew Pratt, St. Croix, Kevin Thompson rounding out your top 3. But when are these drivers going to start getting impatient and try and make some moves at Talladega to try and get themselves in the top spot? Now, it would be a smart play to take your time, run out till it's about 5, maybe 3 laps left to go, and then throw everything to the wall and see what sticks. But racers are going to do racing things, and sometimes they get a little bit impatient and try and make those aggressive moves a little early on the race. And again, with a league with no fast repairs, it just takes that one moment and you are done and out of the race. As it looks like that inside line had really found some momentum. But then the run fell short as the outside line gets it carried again once more. It's Pratt, St. Cyr, Kevin Thompson, the top 3 all in that high groove. That inside groove still trying to work their way up. I believe that's still Semi on the inside groove. Justin McMahon, he takes a tow back to pit road. He has some sort of problems with the number 20 Chevrolet. Oh, hold on to it. Nope, they're not going to. Are they? Hold on to it. No, there it goes. We saw it coming in slow motion. Still doesn't look like a caution came out. We're going to keep them running forward here. And just like that, several racers are going to have big problems, as that damaged at least 5 different cars. And with 9 laps left to go, it's still about 9 drivers who have a chance of winning this. We're about 1.2 seconds. That separates Andrew Pratt in first to Michael Simia in 9th. After that, we got a comfortable 2-second margin back to 10th place with Christopher Leftwich. After we had a big shake-up there, drivers able to hold on to it, though, and stay relatively out of the wall. Although we're at the laps rapidly clicking off here at Talladega. Andrew Pratt, St. Cyr still out front with Kevin Thompson on that high groove. Michael Simia seems dedicated to the inside line, but he's only got 1 driver right behind him. I believe that's going to be Christopher Leftwich in tow. Oh, there they go once more. It's the 62. No, the 67 of Soames. Still no caution. What an absolute wild night. So that was Simia that got into Soames. I've got to say, I'm shocked at the lack of cautions that the built-in iRacing system's not picking up tonight. They seem to be either asleep at the wheel or maybe a little bit more lenient. Again, that's the built-in iRacing officials. The sim is built to throw the caution if somebody's pointing the wrong direction. And we've seen 2 big moments tonight where both broadcaster and fans alike thought that we were going to see the yellow flag once more. And Simia will come down pit road to get his machine repaired as well with that contact. Now, if we can make it to the white flag, we will not go into green-white checker conditions tonight. We do only have one green-white checker attempt in our back pocket if we get to those late race cautions. What that means, again, if you're a first-time viewer cheering on your family, we have one shot to make this thing finish under green flag. If we have a caution with 3 laps left to go, we'll throw it into overtime conditions. In that overtime condition, green-white checker, if we have another caution before the white flag is thrown, we will finish this race under caution. But if the leaders can make it, the white flag is seen in the air proudly, and another caution comes out, it doesn't matter. We will run it out under green flag racing conditions, wide open. And now it's a 6-car rodeo inside the lead pack. They are about 8 seconds ahead of 7th place in back. Traffic once again hopping out of the way, trying to avoid any sort of carnage or misfortune. And when are we going to see a move by St. Cyr or Thompson to try and leapfrog their way out front? As Andrew Pratt's going to hold on for dear life. Pratt only up 1 spot from where he started, but he's in arguably the best spot as it stands, as it'll be 3 to go this next time by. We are all watching with bated breath to see if the big one's going to come out, or if these drivers are going to be happy bringing home some much-needed points, because it is still a long way. Now, last week it was Dylan Herbotten that brought home the win. Eddie Rivers got second, and Leander Johnson got third, but we might see a new face up here in pit road. Historically, you do not want to be the lead car on the final lap in a super speedway race, but that may be shaken up a little bit in these next-gen Cup cars. Looks like that inside line's starting to get going. That's Randall Barnett and Teddy Wisniewski on the inside line. The number 63 and 26 working together. No, I stand corrected, my friends. That is lap traffic. Try and get a different angle here. So it's Wisniewski with lap traffic behind him. That is the number 20 of Justin McMahon. Maybe helping out a friend here to get up towards the front. Maybe trying to get back in the lead lap, but with 2 laps left to go tonight, I don't think it's very likely, as you're about to see the chrome horns come into play and drivers are about to risk it all for a race win. Here at the Doghouse Racing League Next Gen Cup Series, sponsored by Shoney's. The white flag is out. We are going to bring it home, ladies and gentlemen. Andrew Pratt holding on for everything he's got. Are we going to see a big move by St. Cyr? Is he going to be happy holding on to his 2nd place here tonight after so many great drivers got involved in early and mid-race incidents? Making their way around the high banks of the super speedway. Who is it gonna be here as they come to the line? And it's gonna be a close one. It looks like it's gonna be Andrew Pratt, Andrew St. Cyr, and Eric Peck all bringing home a podium today, but Andrew Pratt on the top spot after a great race here at Talladega. A great race, just the right amount of cautions to keep it exciting. But it'll be Andrew Pratt on the top spot here tonight. We'll be back in just one moment as we get our drivers up here to victory lane. Don't go anywhere. You do not want to miss these interviews. All right, looks like all of our drivers getting up here into victory lane. Up first, we're going to be joined by Andrew Peck. Peck finishing third in that number 61 machine. Excuse me, Eric finishing third in that 61 machine. Sorry, it's been a long night, Eric. Eric, I mean, did you think that was going to get a little bit rougher there at the end, or what was your expectations coming into the final lap?
No, I was just good riding back there. I was gonna finish fourth. But I seen the 63 had the run, and I'm like, man, I better take that run and see what happens.
Now, Eric, with the updates to these next-gen cars, do you think that made the racing a little bit more exciting on the super speedway, or what was your impression of the first time out in the big track with these newer packages?
Oh yeah, that new update really helped with the plate racing with these cars.
Well, it was a lot of fun for us to watch in the booth. I hope it was just as half as fun out on track. Eric, before I let you sign off, who would you like to give a shout-out to that was helping cheer you on this season?
My teammates at BPS Motorsports, which is Doug Sums and Randall Barnett, and then all the AK Racing, Andrew Pratt, Andrew St. Clair, and Kevin Thompson.
Well, Eric, very well said, my friend. Congratulations on that third-place finish, and hope to see you do well in the coming weeks.
Thank you.
That was Eric Peck finishing third in the number 61 Chevrolet. Now we've got Andrew St. Clair. Andrew, have I been saying that wrong for an hour, or is that the right way to say it?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Is it Andrew
what'd you
St.
say?
Is it St. Clair, the proper pronunciation?
Saint Core, yes.
Hey, there we go.
Correct.
Well, Andrew, great finish up there in the number 16 Ford Mustang. Looked like you and Pratt were just linked up and putting in laps. Was there any communication there on who was going to do what, or was it every man for himself in the closing laps?
No, we definitely had a plan there. There was myself and Kevin, and we were committed to continue to push Pratt to the end, and then we had our affiliate guys there, Freak and Eric Peck and Randall Barnett behind as well. We were all kind of working together and communicating. So anyway, really got to thank the whole team for working together there. It was definitely a team effort, and really made that high line work. Nobody could get it together on the bottom to really touch us. So it was a great race.
Now, Andrew, in races that I've ran myself as well as broadcasted, it seemed in the past with these cars it was pretty much a bottom line race, and if you got shut out on the start, you were done. Do you think that new package allowed you guys to run that middle to high groove tonight, or was it the teamwork that allowed you to get the really momentum going?
Definitely the package allowed. It's definitely faster. We have been working on that for a bit now, and we feel it's definitely faster on the high side. And if we had the option to go low, we would have stayed high. And as you saw, we stayed high when we were on our own. We didn't think the low line could get. It's almost reverse what it used to be, isn't it? The bottom line really couldn't get it together to get up to us when it used to be that way in the high. So.
Well, good. I'm looking forward to more updates to these cars as iRacing gets that data from NASCAR. And you guys did a great show out there, really working together and showing what we can do with this new package. Andrew, before I let you sign off and celebrate that second place finish, who'd like to give a shout out to friends, family, sponsors that's been helping you out this season?
Yeah, for sure. So first off, just want to thank Daniel, Eddie, the guys up top, Andrew for race control today, as well as Andrew Pratt put together my livery. Absolutely love it. And the rest of the AK Racing team and the affiliate team, BPS Motorsports. So, yeah, and thank you. So, really appreciate it.
Yeah, glad to. You guys put on a great show. And Andrew, again, congratulations on that second place finish tonight.
Thank you.
That was Andrew St. Cyr, the number 16 Ford Mustang, bringing home a second place finish. But now we've got the man of the hour, Andrew Pratt, getting a whole lot of love from a Miss Lisa Pratt that was tuning in and cheering you on. Andrew started off second, finished first. I don't think you can ask for a much better night, my friend.
No, no, it was absolutely flawless tonight for all of AK Racing and BPS Racing. We all worked so well together, and once we hooked up, we were hard to handle. So I gotta say a big thanks to all those guys, Andrew and Kev. They basically, they made sure I got that win, or it was one of us, and they could have easily made a move, but they didn't. So I definitely owe them one.
Yeah,
So
how does that work between teammates? Is it a game of shortest straw gets to win for one of these league races? Is there team points at play? Did you buy your friends a six pack? What decides it at a super speedway that's gonna make sure your teammates allow you to survive?
well, first of all, we've known each other for a real long time now, so we're tight. But I don't know. It's just if it was Andrew who came out in front of me and I was able to get behind him, I would have just assumed pushed him to the win. We were just, we all work well, really well together, week in and out, and practice all the time. And so I knew once we all got together and we kind of found up in that high line, it was definitely the faster way around. If you had, people that could, hold the line and tuck in and uh, not bump at the wrong times for sure. Definitely helps. But that high line was so strong tonight. Once we got up there, I knew it was ours to lose at that point.
Yeah, well said. You guys had the momentum. Now, Andrew, next week we go to the Monster Mile 65 at Dover International. What are your thoughts on how that's going to go with these new packages that were just released and allowed these cars to feel a little bit more lively between the seat and the steering wheel?
Well, lively is a very good way to to describe it because they are certainly a handful, and Dover is so fast. It certainly is like being on a roller coaster when you dive into those corners. So the lack of downforce and the lack of grip and these new bigger tires seem to um, the way they break loose is a lot. It's a lot more. You can't anticipate it as well as you could with the old tire compound. So it's definitely going to be an interesting race and a lot of throttle control in the corners and tire wear. So it should be a good race. Especially tonight, we had uh, not many cautions, which is great because the potential with this package is high to take out an entire field pretty easily. So props to everyone that came and raced tonight, and pretty clean for the most part.
Well, a lot of fun to watch. It's my first time here at the Doghouse Racing League calling the action. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I know the fans did at home. Andrew, you got the distinct pleasure of being the last driver to give a shout out to fans, friends, family, sponsors. The floor is all yours, my friend.
Well, first of all, I'll say thank you to you for giving us some stellar coverage and all the fans that watch, and certainly my mom and dad at home. I know they were rooting me on, so I'm happy I could pull that off for them. So just great night for everyone, and we're looking forward to Dover.
Awesome, Andrew. Thank you so much, man. Congratulations on a win, and hope to see you carry that streak early on in the future.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir. That was Andrew Pratt bringing home the big win tonight. That number 75 Ford Mustang. Andrew St. Cyr and Eric Peck round out our podium here tonight. As always, on behalf of the Doghouse Racing League and Shoney's for sponsoring the Next Gen Cup Thursday night series. Tonight, the Dega 101 was action-packed from start to beginning, as well as myself at Team Goon Squad Broadcasting. Thank you all so much for tuning in and spending your evening with us, and we will see you same time, same place next week. Have a great night, everyone.